Good values are reality based, socially constructive, and immediate and controllable. Bad values are superstitious, socially destructive, and not immediate or controllable. Honesty is a good value because it's something that you have complete control over, it reflects reality, and it benefits others. Popularity, on the other hand, is a bad value. If that's your value, and if your metrics is being the most popular guy or girl in a dance party, much of it, what happens, will be out of your control. You don't know who else will be at the event, and you probably won't know how half of those people are. Second, the value isn't based on the reality. You may feel popular or unpopular when in fact you have no fucking clue what anybody else really thinks about you. Some example of good healthy values are honesty, innovation, vulnerability, standing up for oneself, standing up for others, self-respect, curiosity, charity, humility, creativity. Some example of bad or unhealthy values, dominance through manipulation or violence, indiscriminate fucking feeling good all the time, always being at the center of attention, not being alone, liked by everybody else, being rich for the sake of being rich. You notice that good, healthy values are achieved internally. Something like creativity or humility can be experienced right now. You simply have to orient your mind in a certain way to experience it. These values are immediate and controllable and engage you with the world as it is rather than how you wish it were. Bad values are generally reliant on external event, flying on a private jet, being told you are right all the time, owning a house in the Bahamas, eating a cannoli while getting blown up by the three strippers. Bad values, while sometimes fun or pleasurable, lie outside of your control, often require socially destructive or superstitious means to achieve. Values are all about prioritization. Everybody would love a good cannoli or a house in the Bahamas. The question is your priority. What are the values that you prioritize everybody else and therefore influence your decision making more than anything else? Hero honor the highest value is completely loyalty and service to the Japanese Empire. This value, in case you couldn't tell from reading about him, stank worse than a stolen sushi roll. It created a really sticky problem for Hero. Namely, he got stuck on a remote island where he lived off the bugs and worms for 30 years. Oh, and he felt compelled to murder innocent civilian too. So, despite the fact Hero saw himself as a success, and despite the fact he lived up to the metrics, I think we can all agree with that. Really, life is really sucked. None of us would trade shoes with him, given the opportunity, nor would we condemn his action. Dame Mustaine achieved great fame and glory and felt like a failure anyway. This is because he adopted a crappy value based on some arbitrary comparison to the success of others. This value gave him awful problems such as I need to sell 150 million more records than anybody else, and my next door needs to be nothing but stadiums. Problem he thought he needed to solve in order to be happy. It's no surprise that he was not. On the contrary, P.T. Bust pulled a switchy hero, despite being depressed and distraught by getting kicked out of the Beatles. As he grew older, he learned to reprioritize what he cared about and was able to measure his life in a new light. Because of this, Best grew into happy and healthy old man with an easy life and great family things that ironically before Beetle would spend decades struggling to achieve or maintain. When we have poor value, that is poor standard, we set for ourselves and others, we essentially giving fuck about the things that don't matter, things that in fact make our life worse. But when we choose better values, we are able to divert our thoughts to something better, towards things that matter, things that improve our state of well being, and that generate happiness, pleasure, and success as a side effect. Thus, in a nutshell, is what self improvement is really about. Prioritizing better value, choosing better things to give a fuck about, because when you give better fuck, you give better problem. And when you get better problem, you get a better life. Thanks for watching. Please do like and share and subscribe.